Hi, it's me, your boyfriend slash girlfriend slash day fans, favorite content creator. And do you guys remember the 90s? Do you remember Satanic Panic? If you don't, I have a video where I talk about how the right dominated gaming, and I mentioned all those fun things. And the reason I'm bringing it back up is once again, somehow, all of what's happening with the assassination of Charlie Kirk and just general violence in this country is the fault of video games. At least that's what the current administration is thinking. RFK Jr., of all people, floated the idea that violent video games are the cause of lots of violence happening in this country. And now, again, after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, that idea has been getting more and more prominent in mainstream media.
We do know, and again, this has been well publicized, that this was a very normal young man, a very smart young man, 4.0 student, I think a 34 on the ACT, went to my alma mater, Utah State University, but was only there for a very short amount of time. I mean, dropped out after less than one semester, and it seemed to happen kind of after that, after he had moved back to the southern part of Utah. Clearly, there was a lot of gaming going on. Friends that have confirmed that there was kind of that deep, dark internet, the Reddit culture, and these other dark places of the internet where this person was going deep. And you saw that on the casings. I think I didn't have any idea what those inscriptions, many of those inscriptions even meant, but they are certainly the memification that is happening in our society today.
Did he isolate himself, and what became really important in terms of what influenced him? And was it the video lifestyle? Video games do not cause this kind of violence, but if someone is on an isolated path to violence, they can be fueled by violent videos. And when you describe what was how the homicide unfolded with the customized outfit, with the customized gun, with the bullets, it's almost like, was he in his own video game and he was the main character? And of the 19 cases that we looked at, including Columbine, they were online with video games 7 to 8 hours a day. Oh. 7 to 8 hours a day, and that was nearly 25 years ago. So when we look at it today, then the question becomes the quality of these games, very different, and the time spent online, very different, but it can desensitize to the point where that person involved in these games looks at other people, at least the characters in the game, and they're not even human beings. They're simply avatars. They're just characters. And that desensitization process can carry over then to making just terrible decisions and making decisions that can really change the rest of your life.
So obviously, this isn't true. Can't be true. Other countries play video games as much, if not more, than Americans, and yet they don't seem to have a massive gun violence problem. That seems almost uniquely American. But this is a very familiar playbook. What's happening now? I know people, when I talk about like larger scale things, people seem to tune it out, but this affects you gamers, capital G and lowercase g, so maybe you'll listen this time. This is the same tactic that's been used before. When conservatives, this is their plan, right? When they do not like a group of people, they will often demonize them, by which I mean they will associate negative outcomes to particular groups. We've seen it happen with trans people, how trans people are now all mentally ill. The current shooter, well, not current because there's 2 more shootings happened after that, but the suspected assassin for Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson, is now, who was first called a trans radical, and now his roommate is trans, and they're trans lovers and all this stuff, right? To associate negativity with a particular group. Now they're going back to associating gaming as a whole, gamers, with a negative group. This was, of course, something I called out 10 months ago, but bears repeating. They were always going to do this because they were never on your side. You were just convenient. You were a convenient mechanism to get their message out there. And like I stated a bunch of times, they're going to use you. And then once they have no further use of you, you're scapegoated. Oh, what's this? This guy made a reference to Helldivers. He was a gamer. Well, there's your problem. It's not the vast amount of radicalizing content available on the internet due to very little oversight. It's not the proliferation of guns, the ease at which we can get it, the sheer amount of mental issues that are happening in this country due to the material conditions not improving for the vast majority of people. No. It's because you played Halo and Call of Duty and Helldivers 2, and now you're a mass murderer. Now you're an assassin. Now you're criminal. And again, we know this isn't the actual truth. But if you've been paying attention, you should realize now that actual numbers don't matter. Again, they're claiming that the left are a group of violent terrorists, even though every statistical data point has proved that the right has performed extreme amounts of violence to almost comical degree. I mean, hell, just the other day, a neo-Nazi shot up a school. That is a far-right ideology. It's always this ideology. But you talk to anyone now, it's, oh, the left is bad, because it's vibes. It's vibes-based. That very same ideology of just vibes-based is the reason why gamers are not going to be at the forefront of this is what's destroying the community. It's video games. It's access to the internet. It's things that they want to vilify, so then they get to decide what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. I promise you, if this continues, the conversation of violent video games is going to erupt. You've already seen the governor of Utah talking about violent games and how the internet is bad for children. The bad for children thing has already been talked about before with COSA, right? So you're starting to see what the overall goal is here. They want to be able to control not only what you see, but what you do and how you do it. And they're going to attack gamers because it is the easiest target. And we know that. They could cherry pick, which is what they're doing. Again, you want to know why they're assuming that the shooters in the trans relationship? It's because the alleged roommate had a picture from TikTok 2 years ago where they had like a onesie with like bunny ears or cat ears or whatever on, and then they had their random anime filter. I know that filter. That filter takes your face and just transforms into the best thing they can hallucinate. And it just so happened to transform it into a female anime character. And they're like, this person must be trans. Look what they're wearing with the onesie. How many streamers have you seen, male presenting streamers, who have cat ear headphones? Would you say they're trans? Probably not. They're just wearing headphones, or they just have a onesie on. But because we have vilified trans people, and now they're trying to do that to gamers, you will see how that doesn't matter. They're not saying this is just a gamer, it's a trans gamer, and they're radicalized and all this stuff, even though by their admission, this is the person who helped turn Tyler, the actual shooter, in. But again, facts don't matter. It's vibes. So all the people who are like constantly trying to say that, no, these people are bad, they're bad because this is not because of your vibes, understand, like I've said a bunch of times, they're going to do the same tactics to you, and we've already seen it. They're doing it again. Multiple. Fox News just came out blaming violent video games for the outcome of the ills of our society, including the recent Charlie Kirk assassination. Video games. Gamers, we know there's a ton of video games. To our brain, just like, what, Hollow Knight radicalized someone? Silksong radicalized someone? But to the mainstream, they say video games, they're going to show Call of Duty, they're going to show Mortal Kombat, they're going to show the violent stuff. They're not going to show the sides of everything. So maybe now you'll understand why it's very important to look at things holistically and not get so myopic in your viewpoint. It's no different than saying trans people are fucking monsters and abominations. It's no different than saying like all black people are criminals, all migrants are illegals trying to take your job. Like that's the same exact rhetoric they're using against gamers now. That's all I wanted to say. Like just understand that this is the same tactic. They're finding a group to vilify. It doesn't matter if the information is correct or not. As long as it sounds plausible, they're going to go for that. But don't be surprised if video games start being put under a bigger microscope, because you have people who are younger and younger being radicalized. Young people online, the overlap between that and them playing games, especially games online, pretty large. Just leaving it at that, man. Just something for you guys to think about.